So what I did is I printed off just a thin template, and I could use that, place that in the hole in the center, position it so that the holes were going to line up in the right places, and then run a drill down to get more bolt holes. The part that occupies the center is the wiring, and it's this here, which is a 6-wire capsule. It's got 6 rings inside and what would be kind of brushes, I guess, and it allows this section to rotate, but this section would remain stationary, or the other way round. So in this instance we're going to be fitting it to the track frame there, and then as the body slews around, the circuits are maintained to the track motors. So I'm going to set to and fit this. I've made up a bush assembly that is a nice fit in the hole, and that will center this bearing, so that will actually fit on the end of the wiring. It's also acting as a spacer as well, because there's quite a bit below this capsule, so I want to get enough clearance underneath to be able to bring the wiring back around, and that will clear the pinion motor that will be sat here. Now if I take the bottom off, those are the worm drive gears on the bottom of the motors. If I uncouple this section of the frame, now as a temporary measure, that's how I've wired it up. So I can unplug these. I've got JST, JH, I think it's a 4-way, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, for the 2 motor circuits. So they will unplug, and I need to get to the holes underneath when I put the 2 together. That's the only place that I can access them, so they've got to be easy accessible. So by factoring in a plug and socket arrangement, it makes it easier in the long run. I've got a spare circuit here that, should I have an option later on to fit a grading blade on the front here, I've got a pair of wires there for another motor, so I haven't cut them off, I've just left them there as spare. So I want to make some sort of a bracket or housing to house this plug or the socket, and then on assembly all I've got to do is plug this back in, which connects the motors up. We've now got the base mounted onto the track frame, so just hold that in shot for a minute just to see what it's like. So you see the way it's turning there, and I'll just do a shot underneath as well, and there you can see the fixing nuts underneath, so you can see the overall construction, how it's put together. Once the motor comes in, I'll sight the motor somewhere, and then we'll power it up and test it and spin it up and see how it goes. So that's it basically. So I plan to, off of here, I can knock these little pillars off and make a little bracket to house this somehow. I'll get that mounted in a way, make sure that the wiring is clear from this, because that is actually a screw hole, a screw fixing for the bottom of the track motors. So once it's all together, this section will be screwed on underneath. So I shall probably use, I might not use it, but I shall probably use this screw hole, because it is actually located in these two lugs here. Yeah, I'll make a little bracket up there so that the motors can be plugged in, and then the track motors, the axle, everything else can be assembled and boxed up. Then I can finish off the slew motor mechanism. Once that's done, I can box up this track motor side, because that's all done, all wired up, and start from the top.